We are Big Joe and Laura welcoming you to a Friday, March 8th, 2024. Good morning, Laura.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Pretty good.
I wanted to be the first to wish you happy International Women's Day.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. It's the one holiday that all us ladies get to go, yes, we are the best. Please worship us. I'm trying to think of ways that I could celebrate International Women's Day, and I think there's a few things I could request that maybe we could just for today, any man that crosses my path or any of you ladies, if you want to go along with this, I feel like we have this right to demand these simple things.
So these are like your International Women's Day demands?
I mean, I don't want to call them demands, but yes, they are
requests.
Demands. Requests. Polite request. My first request is that I'm allowed to drink out of my knockoff Stanley Cup without being judged. I just want to be hydrated. I don't want to be in a clique. I don't want to be judged by the women who go to Target and fight each other over them. I just want to be hydrated with my fancy pink cup. Is that okay?
I can't speak for women. I mean, I usually do judge you, but I won't judge you for this. I'll let it slide today.
Today only. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking for.
I do think you have a problem, but I'm not judging.
That's fine. Okay. That's fine. Okay. Secondly, I would like the show just for today to be the Laura and Big Joe show.
Okay.
Okay, cool. I mean, we don't have to do anything official. We don't even have to change the logo. That's a lot of work. But if you can just in your brain think that it's the Laura Big Joe show just for today only, that would be really cool. And last but not least, I'm going to ask all men if you could pick up one chore today. I would say that my husband needs to do this, but he's a good man, Savannah, and he already does all the chores, so I don't really have to worry about that. But I feel like everyone else, Joe, today when you go home to your wife, Lindsay, I would like you to pick up one chore that she normally does just to say thank you for everything she does for you.
Okay, I mean, can you? I really don't know what my wife does around the house.
So anything you don't do. I mean, like clean a dish, pick up something off the floor, organize. I know you talk about her nightmare shoe closet. Like put away like 4 pairs.
I can just put peanut butter on the shoes and bring Betty and Patty in there.
They might clean them up. Listen, that's a start. That's in the right direction.
I'm wondering if you are a lady out there. Obviously, shout out, hey girl, woo-woo! Happy International Women's Day, but. What would be, if we're going to tackle one of those things Laura said, like what's a chore or a task or just something a man could do in your life today just to show the appreciation?
Please let us know what you would like some guy to do, any guy, for you for International Women's Day. Or if you know a woman that deserves a shout out today, please call. Let us give her a shout out, whether it's a single mom, someone out there that just really needs a little bit of love, whatever it may be. It's all about you today, ladies. So how about we kick it off with some Tate McRae? It's Big Joe. Sorry, it's Laura and Big Joe on Mix 95.7.
See, that's why guys do it. You messed it up.
It's time for Big Joe and Laura's Need to Know News on Mix 95.7.
Are you going to watch this? YouTuber Jake Paul, he's going to be going from the UFC and WWE to boxing.
What?
Yeah, on July 20th, Jake Paul will be getting into the ring with Mike Tyson. I saw this and I said, what?
You know, every time I think that Jake Paul is going to absolutely be decimated, and every time he somehow walks away, I think he's paying off these matches, so I don't even believe they're real anyway.
I think you have a point there. The fight's going to take place at AT&T Stadium in Dallas, and it'll air live on Netflix if you're not heading down to Texas. No word on how much those guys are going to be making, but oh boy, I'm sure it's a lot. Everybody wins in this situation.
Absolutely, especially their brand deals. Like imagine how many bottles of Prime and how many of Mike Tyson's cannabis product things are going to sell right after this. Like kind of a genius marketing move. Grand Haven is getting a New Holland location. The tasting room that they're going to be adding is going to be in the lobby of the Grand Theater, which I think is really cool.
I've never been in the Grand Theater, but I was seeing some photos. I saw this too, and I'm like, wow, what a cool place.
Absolutely. You'll be able to find cocktails and tasting flights. So say you want to have a nice little drink and then head right over to the beach. What a great opportunity for that. They're also going to have a retail area. It's expected to hold 40 people, so it probably will get full very quickly in the summer, but they do hope to have it open in time for the nice warm season. So honestly, I can't wait to check it out this summer.
And your final need to know news story, let's head to Wisconsin, where a family had an unexpected guest show up in their driveway.
I'm watching TV and my wife comes in the room and says, Jake, I think there's a pig on our driveway camera. And I'm like, are you serious? That's definitely my pig. He's a big black pig? I said, yeah. He's like, yeah, his name is Kevin Bacon. And he's actually a little lonely, so he's probably just looking for company. They all wanted to adopt him immediately. And I said, we don't have a place to put a 450-pound pig, but they fell in love with him right away.
His name is Kevin Bacon.
Of course he is. Of course. Yeah, the family walked Kevin back home a few miles. I guess his owner was out of town, so they said, "Here, Kevin, stay."
Oh, Kevin, I would have let him stay at my house until his owners got back. What a cute little guy.
I would have made some bacon.
No!
That's your Need to Know news on Mix 95.7. Dipping usually is not a problem unless it's double dipping, but Laura and I want to hear from you this morning at 616-600-0957. That's 616-600-0957. I don't know if you saw this, but you see that there's going to be some new ranch flavors from Hidden Valley.
No, but I'm a ranch
Connoisseur?
Explicitive. Yeah, a ranch
What are you
connoisseur.
doing with your ranch?
Terrible things, if I'm allowed. No,
Okay.
I love ranch. So tell me, what flavors we got coming?
They're saying that they're going to have spicy hot honey ranch, sizzling Nashville hot ranch, creamy jalapeno ranch. I mean, there's just a bunch. I could go on and on. But anyways, good news for us that there will be some new dipping sauce out there. But I got to be honest, for myself, I had some wings last night.
Yeah.
I'll do ranch, but I'm not a huge fan of ranch. Like, I don't get people that, like, when people that put ranch on the pizza, you are monsters.
No, we're not. I just dip it. I dip it in the pizza. You don't put it on the pizza. You
You're
dip
the
the
same
pizza in
people?
it. It's a nice, no, if it's a mid pizza, it's a nice way to turn it around. I
You're
don't
the
do it on good pizza.
See, this is what I'm talking about. We're not going to agree on this at all. You're the same kind of person that would probably put, like, steak sauce on a steak.
Not on it, but sometimes if it's a mid steak, I'll dip
No,
steak sauce.
okay.
What exists for a reason? It's good. It needs a vehicle, and I can't put it on anything else.
616-600-0957. You could argue about that, but I guess we're curious. What is your number one top pick? This is the one you go to no matter what. Dipping sauce. For me, I'll just throw it out there. I guess nobody has to call. It's Chick-fil-A sauce. That is hands down the best sauce. It's perfect for everything.
I like Chick-fil-A sauce, but I don't even believe it's the best sauce at Chick-fil-A.
Okay, then what's the best sauce at Chick-fil-A besides the name brand Chick-fil-A sauce?
I mean, listen, you can have all your Chick-fil-A sauce you want, but if you haven't had the honey roasted barbecue, you are sleeping on what might be one of the greatest sauces of all time. Or, since I know you like McDonald's sweet and sour sauce, the Polynesian sauce is a much better version of that.
Didn't they have like a Polynesian recall or something? I don't know.
If recall it or not, I'll still eat it.
Yeah, I know you would. I've tried that sauce you're talking about. Usually when I get like a grilled chicken sandwich where I try to be healthy.
Yeah.
Even though I still eat that large waffle fry. And yeah, that sauce is good. But no, I'm not going to argue with you because obviously you're not going to listen. Chick-fil-A, number one.
No.
And then, yeah, sweet and sour sauce. McDonald's, you put that on everything too. Ooh, it's so good.
But Polynesian sauce from Chick-fil-A is still better than both of those.
So is that your pick, your number one sauce?
No, not even close. No, I like that sauce. My favorite sauce, probably, and no one should be surprised by this if they know anything about me, I'm going with Raising Cane's sauce because that's the only reason to go to Raising Cane's. Fine, their chicken's whatever, their fries, they're the crinkle cut, they kind of suck. But if you put that sauce on everything, I even dip the toast in the sauce. It's so good. I understand why people buy the giant cup full of it because I could bathe in that stuff.
See,
it's so good.
My earlier example, Laura, about people putting steak sauce, A1 sauce on a steak is because it's not good. That's why people love Raising Cane's because the food is
It's fine.
It's all right.
It's fine.
But the
chicken's
sauce
fine.
kind of masks it like this is somewhat tasty.
No, listen, I used to be all about the Zaxby sauce, but I said that on the radio back in Louisville, and somebody literally brought me a case of it, and I can't really eat as much of it anymore because I had so much Zaxby sauce on everything for like 2 months until it finally expired. So, or how about this? I'll take away. Let's leave the chicken dipping sauces. What about the tartar sauce at McDonald's on the fish fillet? Like that's
but is
it's
tartar
so
sauce
good? Yes, it's sauces in the name. Of course it counts.
Yeah, but it's like it's not a solid, it's not a liquid. This is like science to me. It's somewhere in between.
Well, that's what
it's a spread.
Is Chick-fil-A sauce not kind of in between
Oh
solid
no,
and liquid?
Chick-fil-A sauce is straight up liquid. Tartar sauce is kind of a spread to me.
No, it's sauce, tartar sauce. I
Tartar?
wouldn't dip it in anything in it. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I might dip some chicken nuggies in it. I don't know. I haven't tried it. I don't want to knock it till I try it. If
You're gonna
anyone
do
asks,
land and sea on this one?
yeah, why not? Listen, what's your favorite dipping sauce? Maybe you can prove both of us wrong with your suggestion. Give us a call at 616-600-0957. Again, that's 616-600-0957. Or you can send us a DM right now inside your Mix 95.7 app.
It's time for Big Joe and Laura's Need to Know News on Mix 95.7.
Are you ready? Sunday, we're springing forward. Yeah. You should set your clock 1 hour ahead before you go to bed on Saturday night. Now, why the heck do we do this, Laura?
I don't know, other than to make me sad.
Okay, well, then we're going to have to go with what I found, and that is Germany began using daylight saving time during World War I with the thought that, hey, we could save some energy. Other countries, including the U.S., said, oh, we'll do the same. A great idea.
Sure.
Then World War II came around, and apparently the U.S. did the same thing, but we called it wartime during this time of the year. So, hey, Laura, make sure you set your clock to wartime.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
No, you know what? My thing is this. If that's the only reason that we actually did daylight saving time, then let's get rid of it. I know we're at war all the time across the world, but let's just get rid of it then. Come on. If you want to get my vote in 2024, don't like any of the candidates, you got it. Just get rid of that.
I was going to say, whoever decides to federally legalize cannabis and also get rid of daylight saving time, I don't care who you are. I'll vote for you. Congratulations. You win. Here's your sign. Play the lottery with your friends, because friends who play together win together. At least that was the case for a woman in Saginaw and her friend. Her name's Naomi. She matched 4 white balls and the Powerball to win $50,000, but thanks to the power play, she actually ended up winning $100,000, and that's pretty cool on its own.
Yeah.
Naomi and her friend used to split a ticket, and then one time they finally were like, you know what, let's buy 2 different tickets with the same numbers, so that way if we win, we both win separately. Well, her friend did the same thing, although she didn't do the power play, so her friend also walked away with $50,000, all because when they played their lucky numbers and they all hit.
I wonder if the other friend's going to share the extra winnings, or are they going to keep the multiplier money?
At least take her out to lunch with your multiplier money, if nothing else.
And your final need to know news story, if you want to own animals like kangaroos, monkeys, or raccoons, then don't move from Michigan to New Hampshire.
I didn't know you could own those anywhere.
I'm sure in Florida it's legal, everything is. But in New Hampshire, they just shut down a bill that would allow those animals as household pets, and here's why.
They are perpetually vicious and angry and petulant 2-year-olds. That's how they behave.
Kangaroos could kill children, maim people. I mean, some of these animals are just inane to even think of these as household pets.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I don't think people should have most of these animals as pets at all whatsoever.
No, I wouldn't mind if you had a raccoon inside your own house. Just make sure it doesn't get to mine. But yeah, kangaroos, have you seen how jacked those things are?
Oh, yeah, they'll get into a fist fight with you, literally. And monkeys, they throw poop. Why do you want one anyway?
I don't know. That does sound kind of fun. That's your Need to Know News on Mix 95.7. Big Joe and Laura here on Mix 95.7, Grand Rapids Best Mix. We're playing Laura Can't Lose, and back for the 3rd day in a row is Daphne in Zeeland.
I think she's trying to run up that jackpot. She is now up to a potential of $45 worth of Michigan lottery tickets if she defeats me today. How are you doing, Daphne?
I'm loving this.
Listen, I still think there's something to be said that you're just trying to run the tab up to get the most out of it, but that's fine. It's a good strategy. I'm not mad at you.
Daphne, go ahead and kick Laura out so we can play.
All right, time to go.
All right, I'm leaving.
You're going to get 1 minute to answer 5 questions. Pass if you don't know the answer. We'll come back if time allows. You just have to say pass. A tie goes to Laura because Laura can't lose, but you can take her on again the next day. Are you ready for question number 1?
I'm ready.
What state hosts the Indy 500 race?
Indiana?
Question 2. What state is known as the Badger State?
Iowa?
Question 3. What is Taylor Swift's lucky number?
13.
Question 4. What movie featured Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones as undercover secret agents who policed extraterrestrials?
Men in Black.
Question number 5. Which blood type is a universal donor?
Oh.
Okay, I'm going to bring Laura in.
Laura! La 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 Laura!
Hey there, stranger.
That was way faster than the last 2 days have been.
Laura, if you would like to win today, there is a chance you can actually defeat Daphne in Zeeland. You're going to have to get a total of 3 to tie, 4 to win.
Okay, so we're making the odds go down a little bit each day, Daphne. I see your game.
No, that's not my game.
It's okay. We'll see how I do. Go ahead and give me that first question, Joe.
Question 1, Laura. What state hosts the Indy 500 race?
That would be Indiana.
Correct. 1-1. Going into question number 2. What state is known as the Badger State?
Oklahoma? Don't look forgive me. I don't know where badgers live.
No. Have you ladies ever heard of the Wisconsin Badgers?
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Okay, well, you did now.
They're the cheese state. How are you going to claim badgers when you're cheese?
Well, that's because they're known as the Wisconsin Badgers. All right, ladies, it is a tie game, 1-1, going into question 3. Laura, what is Taylor Swift's lucky number?
13.
That is correct. 2-2, going into question 4. What movie featured Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones as undercover secret agents who police extraterrestrials?
That would be Men in Black.
Correct. It is now 3-3, going into question 5. If you get this right, you win. If not, we tie, and Daphne plays again on Monday.
All right, let's see how I do.
Which blood type is a universal donor?
That would be type... Oh, hold on. It's between two. I want to say it's... Oh.
You both got that wrong. Both said O. I was looking for O negative.
Oh, come on.
Oh.
Boo. Even if it's right. Boo.
All right, well, that means you both stunk it up again today, in my opinion. And we now have to play again on Monday, Daphne. But the cool thing is, you'll be playing for $50 worth of these.
Woo.
Wow. Okay. All right.
We're Big Joe and Laura on Mix 95.7, and sometimes life just goes in a way that you don't plan it. Unexpected things happen, and you don't get to ask the questions you wanted to ask of someone in your life. We want to hear from you at 616-600-0957, or if you want, you can send us a DM inside the Mix 95.7 app. We're talking about, what do you wish you could have asked someone before they passed away? Now, sometimes it's some simple things, sometimes it's complicated stuff. So if this is a little heavy for you, you want to be anonymous, or you just want to send us a DM, feel free to do so. I'm going to share mine. Today would have been my friend's birthday. He passed away 3 years ago. Very young. He had pancreatic cancer and ended up passing away around the same time that Alex Trebek did. So I remember watching his battle and rooting for both of them, and they both passed away around similar times, and it was just hard to watch. And, you know, one of the things I wish I could go back and ask him would be just a lot of stuff about, like, hey, you know, what would you have wanted us to do for you? What would you have wanted us to celebrate you? How could we have done things better? Because I always feel like I didn't, because it was during the pandemic and other things, I feel like I didn't really get to celebrate his life in a proper way, or really get to do things that I would have wanted to do for him, because we had to like wait and delay a celebration of life. We had all these plans and things we wanted to do with him before he passed away, because we knew it was probably going to happen, and we didn't get to, unfortunately, because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And then I was kind of thinking about this also because my grandparents passed away a year ago. We've been going through their estate, and there's so many things that we're like, we don't know what these things are. And even though you had a will, we don't know what to do with these accounts or this money or things with the farm. And it's been so complicated and scary, because like my grandparents were always the matriarchs that kind of held everything together, or patriarch, whatever. And now that they're gone, we're just like, none of us know how to run a farm. What are we supposed to do with all of this? So again, we want to ask, what do you wish you could have asked someone before they passed away? Joe, do you have one of these?
I do, and I just want to say thank you for sharing it too, because it's not easy. I guess the one thing I think of, I've had when I was 21, I was here in Grand Rapids. Actually, I just got a full-time job working at a country radio station, and my dad unexpectedly passed away. He had an aneurysm, but my dad struggled a lot in his life. He was a functioning alcoholic. He was like a top salesman, but that guy drank like a fish, and he was good at what he did.
Sure.
But he passed away. He had an aneurysm like sometime between a Friday night and Saturday morning. And I remember he called and he was just trying to say what's going on after work. And I was like, hey, I'm still here. You know, it was like 11:30, 12. I'm like, I'm going to be at the station for another couple hours. It's a Friday. I want to get out of here. I'm like, let me call you back. We'll talk later this weekend. And that was the last thing I talked to him. And I don't know if I would ask him anything in that particular conversation.
Yeah.
But the one thing is, my dad, I know, did the best that he could, but he struggled. I don't know if my dad was ever ready to be a dad, if that makes sense. He never hit me, but like that's because his dad did. You know, he was a very a physical guy.
Yeah.
But my dad also wasn't very affectionate. I have no problem now telling my wife I love her, or I tell friends I love them. I can hug. I don't like to make out or kiss, but that's just me. Whatever.
Sure.
So Lindsay doesn't have to worry about me cheating. But the one thing I guess I would ask him is, I rarely heard out of his mouth that he loved me or that he was proud. I know he did. But I guess I would like to almost ask him, hey, did I make you proud? Or, hey, do you love me? I know it seems kind of like like surface level, but not really hearing that a lot growing up. It's just something that's kind of always been there.
No, I don't think that's surface level at all. Sometimes you just need to be reminded that you matter to people. Sometimes people forget to tell you that you matter to them. So there's nothing. I think that's very vulnerable and honest of you to share. And so again, we want to hear from you. What do you wish you could have asked someone, or what do you wish you could have told someone before they passed away? You can give us a call at 616-600-0957, or you can shoot us a DM in the Mix 95.7 app. We've got Brittany and Muskegon on the line. Hang out. It's Mix 95.7. Sometimes in life, we don't get to say what we wanted to say before we lose someone. Hey, it's Big Joe and Laura on Mix 95.7, Grand Rapids Best Mix. This morning, we're talking about what do you wish you could have asked someone before they passed away? I said that I wish I could have asked my parents about the family farm stuff because we've been going through their estate and we don't understand, like, 50% of the things that are in this will.
Yeah.
And it's been very complicated and scary. And now I'm in charge of half a farm and I don't know how to farm. So I don't know what to do with any of this.
Just do your best. Here's advice. Don't try to milk the bulls, okay? Don't do that.
We do have bulls, so that is actually a solid piece of advice. All right. We want to hear from you at 616-600-0957. We've got Brittany and Muskegon on the line. Brittany, what do you wish you could have asked someone before they passed away?
My dad was diagnosed with cancer in 2016, and we were told he had as long as he was willing to fight. It came as a surprise. 3 weeks before he died, he had a massive heart attack and ended up in the hospital. They told me I was supposed to be married 5 days after he actually died. They told me he would be fine in time for my wedding. He would be good to go. He'd be able to dance with me. He'd walk me down the aisle, all that fun stuff. He ended up passing away October 6th. He went into the hospital on the 5th and never came home. We didn't really have any of those conversations about what he wanted. And by the time he went in, he was unable to have those conversations. He couldn't breathe. He couldn't think. He couldn't even write down a sentence.
So you wish that you could have asked him what you should have done in that situation, right?
Yep, because I was the one. I have an older brother who lives out of state, and my younger sister mentally couldn't handle it. So I was the one that had to make all the decisions.
Looking back now, do you feel like you made the right decision, or at least the best decision you could have made at the time?
I made the only decision that would have relieved any of his suffering. Best or the right decision, I don't know. I have severe guilt over that because I feel like I killed my dad.
No, you didn't. Don't do that
beat
to
yourself up at all. Like, I've had this argument with my mom because my mom and grandma in Ohio both have really bad health. Like, I'm surprised they're both still alive. And I'm like, please, Mom, I love you. Just tell me what your wishes are. Like, put it on paper, even if it's not like, even with Lord, just something so I don't have to make that decision for you. So you did the best that you could, and you can't second guess yourself.
No, and to be honest, my father did barely get to make that choice at the end. And he chose, I don't want to be on a vent. I don't want to live my life that way. And I feel guilt the opposite way, that I feel like I should have tried to convince him to at least give it a try. Because maybe, what if it had worked? What if he had come back on the other end of things? And instead, I feel like I almost waved the white flag and let him walk out himself, you know?
Yeah, we spent 24 hours in the ICU at the hospital. I kept him alive long enough for my brother to make an emergency flight in. And so that I could get married in the hospital so I could have my dad.
Wow.
Oh, Brittany, thank you for sharing. I know that's so difficult, and I appreciate you. And just know that you made the choice that was best and the right choice no matter what, and don't beat yourself up over that, okay?
Thank you so much. I hope it helps someone.
Oh, you definitely helped us, and I'm sure you helped a lot of people here in West Michigan by sharing that story. It's the Big Joe and Laura show.
And we thank you guys so much for being vulnerable with us this morning. We've been talking to you at 616-600-0957, asking what you would ask someone if you could talk to them. Maybe they died suddenly and passed away. What would you ask them, or what would you say to them? And we've been hearing from you again. If you want to sound off, want to talk to us, 616-600-0957. We've got Shar from Grand Rapids on the line. Shar, what would you ask?
I got the fortunate to have a set of best friends that were also sisters. Fortunately, I didn't have to make any decisions for her, but with long-term friendship and best friends, it just kind of sucks when you just you didn't get to be there, you didn't get to say goodbye, you didn't get to have any closure, you didn't get to let them know and say, I love you and I will miss you.
Shar, you're absolutely right. It's the hardest, especially when you don't like when it suddenly happens, because that's kind of what happened with my friend that passed away. He ended up, I wrote him a letter. I thought they told me he had a month. They're like, hey, write him letters because that's the way we could communicate during the pandemic. And I dropped my letter in the mail, and then that was the day that he ended up passing away, like weeks earlier than they expected. So like he never got to read my letter. His mom got it, and she called me and she was like, this was so sweet. He would have loved it. But it's like one of those things you really hate it when that happens to you. So I totally understand. And I'm so sorry you had to go through that, Shar.
Thank you. You as well.
Shar, we're so sorry you went through the loss, but we want to thank you for calling in and sharing that on the show.
Yeah, and know that your friends know that you love them, even if you didn't get to say it. I know they did, because I could tell just by talking to you they knew. So
whoever is listening, just, whether or not, however you can email, text, call, whatever, whether or not they'll listen, at least make sure that, you tell them everything that you want them to know, and that maybe that's closure for them or closure for you or whatever.
Thank you, Shar.
Thank you, Shar. We love you. We hope you have a great rest of your morning.
We love you guys.
Bye.
Have a good one. Take care.
Too.
Bye.
See ya. Sam in Newaygo, what do you wish you could have said to somebody before they passed away?
My father called me when I was 13. It was Mother's Day. I didn't call him back that day, and he ended up taking his own life that day. I wish I could ask him what I could have done, or if there was something he wanted to tell me. I just wish I could have returned that call. That took me down a really bad hill for a long time, but I'm over 2 years sober now and just rocking at life, but I do miss my dad.
First of all, woo for 2 years sober. Like, that is so hard.
Yeah, way to go.
We are so proud of you for doing that for yourself, no matter what the catalyst to get you there. We're just proud of you for doing that for yourself. And secondly, you can't blame yourself for that, because at the end of the day, like, they knew you cared, and you can't ever expect that someone's calling you and that's going to be the last chance you get to talk to them. If we all had to worry about every missed call, the insanity of that would drive us all crazy. So you did absolutely nothing wrong, and I'm so sorry that you didn't get to answer that call or didn't get to call back in time to speak to them, to your dad, because that's so hard.
And Sam, kind of piggyback on what Laura said, I feel like when you play the what if game, you never win.
Yep.
There's no correct thing you could have or should have or would have done.
Yeah, exactly. It took me over 15 years to learn that, and I thought I had to end my life the way he did so I could see him one day. But I do not live with those obsessions or thoughts anymore. I know it wasn't my fault, and I know my dad was struggling and was a sick man. So I am grateful to hear your guys' words. That means so much.